Okay, we're going to call our regular meeting of August 10th to order. And since our last meeting, we've had some pretty devastating news in our borough, the loss of a borough family member, Hinal Patel, who was an EMS technician who passed away in the line of duty. It was very emotional for all of us, and we are such a small community that everyone here becomes part of the borough family. And she was also an image of the type of people that come into our lives, into our town, to help us behind the scenes for most of us. And they're there for us, and there's wonderful people like that here now behind the scenes and serving us and serving you when you need it. So we're going to remember her in our thoughts and prayers during our moment of silence. And on top of that, we also lost another great resident, Marianne Ciccolella, who passed away after a long illness, and she did a great deal of volunteer work with our Drug Alliance. For many, many years, she served behind the scenes, helping make things happen for the things that they do. So if you can remember them and their families in your thoughts during our moment of silence, we'll appreciate it. We'll rise for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Councilman Seeley?
Here.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Present.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Councilman Service?
Here.
Council President Stolen?
Here.
Mayor Policino?
Present. Tonight, one of the first things on our agenda is we're welcoming two new young people into borough service. Two new officers are going to be sworn in tonight to begin their careers. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Mayor and the Chief of Police.
Hi, Chief, want to come up?
Sure. One more time. We had a couple retirements here and a couple additions to the police department, so we advertised statewide. We wound up whittling down to 35 final applicants. That got whittled down to 10 and ultimately 2. So we're very selective on who we want here. It's a small police department. It's a family. I spend a lot of time with these individuals here, sometimes as much as your family. So it's important that it's the right fit. It was a tough process, but I'm really ecstatic to grab 2 new guys. As my 24th year starts, I look for the future of the police department and who's going to take over and who's going to move into supervisory roles and investigative roles and operation roles. And I grabbed 2 good guys. So our first selection was Glenn Pacino, who comes to us from Camden County, where he was on a special TAC unit, answering what we call hot calls all the time. So I know that his new wife and new baby are ecstatic that he's in Spotswood in a community-oriented police department, a municipal police department. So Glenn, come on up. What do you want to hold the Bible?
My wife and my son.
Come on up.
Scott, you're going to take a picture? Because I want to send it to the
I, Glenn Pacino Jr.,
I, Glenn Pacino Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of patrolman
of the office of patrolman
for the Spotswood Police
for the
Department,
Spotswood Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you for your service.
Best of luck to you, Glenn.
Councilman Seeley.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
It's Borough.
Thank you.
Our next officer came to us by way of the Middlesex County Sheriff's Department. So he shortly learned from being in the Sheriff's Department, it's a different type of law enforcement. It's not a municipal police officer, still law enforcement, but his yearning, his goal was to be a municipal police officer and get involved in a community where he can make a difference. Educated man, just recently got his master's degree from Seton Hall, Brandon Nemes. Come on up. Mom?
Okay. I, Brandon Nemes,
I, Brandon Nemes,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of
perform all the duties of
Office of Patrolman
Office of Patrolman
with the Spotswood Police
within
Department,
the Spotswood Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Best luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, you want to add anything?
Sure. I'd like to welcome both Glenn and Brandon to our family in the police department. It's nice to see that we're finally at the 21-guy-man department. So you guys could try to get your better shifts, start to work a little better for the families, which definitely helps out a lot. But I can assure you that all the men and well, we don't have women yet. All the men and women in the police department are pure, dedicated officers that do an amazing job here for the Borough of Spotswood, and I'm proud that Chief Zarrow came up with Glenn and Brandon. So thank you, and I welcome you aboard for the next 25 years.
Yes, and council also, we welcome you to the Borough family. We wish you a safe and long career here. We appreciate your service coming into our community to serve our residents. You know, the chief is a modest man. He glossed over this pretty quickly, but the reason we're getting 2 more officers is we had some changes in contracts, and that allowed us to be able to afford it, but also the chief made a passionate plea and did his homework and is changing the schedules and improving morale, we hope, and also it may even cut overtime. So there's a lot of things the chief made clear to us on how it works, and we appreciate his thought that went into it, because we didn't have any extra man. When someone was out, someone else had to come in and cover for it. So hopefully we'll have a department that runs more smoothly, and we appreciate the thought and effort you put into that. Thank you.
And if you ever doubt that leadership doesn't matter, leadership matters every single day. And we have a great leader in Chief Zarrow, and the crew that he has with him is phenomenal. If you went to National Night Out this past week, you saw them all out there serving hot dogs, doing sumo wrestling or boxing or whatever you were doing, and just interacting with our kids and our families in a great positive way. And we are grateful to you, all of you, for what you do every day for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody else?
All right, back to work, let's go.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Pat, you can take over?
Yeah, we have a set of minutes for July 13, 2015 regular meeting.
Make a motion, remove the minutes?
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have an ordinance on second reading, ordinance 07-2015, an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the entering into, execution, and delivery of a lease and agreement with the Middlesex County Improvement Authority relating to the issuance of county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvements revenue bonds, Series 2015 of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority.
Need a motion to open this to the public?
Make a motion.
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. This ordinance is a funding vehicle, really, for another way for us to buy some vehicles, and it saves us bonding costs if we were to do it individually. So this is going to provide funding for 2 additional police vehicles. Does anyone have any questions on this ordinance? No.
Make a motion, to close the public portion?
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. Make a motion, we pass this ordinance on second reading and publish it according to law.
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have an ordinance on first reading, ordinance 08-2015, an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, establishing traffic control standards and requirements for construction and road repairs in the Borough of Spotswood.
Make a motion, we pass this on first reading, publish the public hearing date of September 2nd, 2015, and advertise it according to law.
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have another ordinance on first reading, ordinance 09-2015, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements and the acquisition of various capital equipment, appropriating $300,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $285,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the costs thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Make a motion, we pass this ordinance on first reading, set a public hearing for September 2nd, advertise it according to law.
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have resolutions under consent agenda. The resolutions are spread on the table. Council President and council members, I'll take a motion to accept the resolutions on consent agenda, resolutions 2015-126 through 2015-136.
Make a motion, we move 2015-126 through 136.
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have a resolution authorizing 2015-137, which is payment of bills. Whereas law requires listing of all bills approved for payment, and whereas certification of available funds from the Chief Financial Officer has been made, and whereas the total bill list for the regular meeting dated, well, this was for July 30th, which we had at the end of the month, and August 10th for this meeting, in the amount of $1,507,425.33. Now therefore be it resolved by the Borough Council of the Borough of Spotswood that the CFO is hereby authorized to pay said bill list.
Make a motion?
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Abstain?
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. Comments? Ted, anything?
I'll wait till Dawn gets to her report. I've got a question for her.
Okay. Ed?
I just want to say I had a very good time at National Night Out. I thought it was very well run by the police department and the administration. They did a fine job, as well as the multiple organizations that were involved, Spotswood Fire, EMS, just about every sports organization in town. A couple of veterans groups. I thought it was very well run. I had a good time.
Very good turnout, I would say also. Yes. Marge?
I want to echo that. Mobile Health Unit was there too. We screened 30 people for blood pressure and blood sugar. And I do agree with Ed. I think every organization, volunteer in town was represented, as well as the medical examiner's office and other organizations at the county level. So we want to thank you to all of those businesses that supported this effort by our police department, and especially, was it Gennaro's that you said that
Yes.
supplied all the pizza and
7-Eleven?
7-Eleven did the water. I mean, they really did all
Water and
contribute. So thank you to
sandwiches.
those businesses, and please patronize them if you can. I was talking with Councilman Stolen at the beginning of the meeting, and MJ's is now in town. It's a new business. We have a menu up here if you're interested in going there after the meeting to get something to eat tonight. And we want to try and do this once every meeting so that we highlight a new business in town. And MJ's is certainly hearing great things about it in terms of, you know, the inside and the food and the entertainment. So please try and do that, because they are important to the growth of this town and the sustainability of living in this town, right?
Absolutely.
The other thing is, I want to say thank you to all of our EMS, to all of our fire department members. It was a very difficult situation with Hanil Patel's passing. I am the liaison to the EMS department, and Leo has been a member of the EMS here for many years. We went to businesses in town to, of course, get, you know, bagels and donuts and food, and just to do what comfort we could for those people that were gathering down at our EMS building to mourn her passing. And Leo knows everybody in town, so as soon as they heard that we were there for the EMS staff, they generously gave us lots of food and coffee and everything else for them. So I want to highlight those businesses that helped Leo and I, you know, give some comfort to those staff that were gathered mourning. And Miriam's not here, but she was a true leader through that whole process of mourning her. We had Saturday all day, we had crisis counselors in here, and Sunday we had a ceremony at the Stone where they have it draped with bunting, and they laid flowers and had a service there. Dawn was there morning, noon, and night to support them. Monday, Nikki was at the funeral, addressed the crowd very respectfully with a very moving letter, and they visited the family actually Saturday, the day of the accident, and contacted and spoke with the family and said, we are here for you, and proceeded to be there for them. And then we had a candlelight vigil, of course, here Tuesday, which was very moving. We honored her with her, you know, with the flag of honor, which Mayor Policino arranged to have shipped here, and you know, the EMS workers stood guard. And I think the family felt very supported. We dedicated National Night Out to Hanel, and with a plaque that will be in our borough headquarters, highlighting her service, and with the borough. So every day you see somebody from our EMS, our fire, our rescue, and our police, you say thank you, because every day they put their lives on the line for us, and we should be eternally grateful for that. So thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Nick. Members of the council were all there too, supporting the family through these events. And you know, this is when we all have to be there for each other, and we were. I think it was as good as it could have been. So that's mine. Thank you.
Marge. Leo?
No, that's
Yes, Ed?
nothing else.
Okay. Mr. Mayor?
Sure, yeah, for a couple things. I want to echo everyone about the National Night Out. It was fantastic to see all of the local businesses, your volunteer organizations, your, you know, emergency services, your Knights of Columbus, Polish American Club. It was great to see everyone out there. I think Detective Hoover and our Drug Alliance Coordinator, Dulce Rivera, did a really good job on getting this thing sponsored together. I will be joining Acting Governor Kim Guadagno on Tuesday. We will be going to Hinel's family's house to present the American flag that was flown over the Capitol building in Trenton, along with a proclamation, and with the along with the executive order to lower all the flags for her on July 31st. So I thought it was very nice of the Lieutenant Governor for actually making the trip instead of sending someone from her staff. I can't say enough to thank all the residents who donated money towards the honor flag. We needed $900 and change to get it here. Spotswood raised over $1,300. So the additional $297 went towards what do you call it, Haywood, California, to honor their officer that was shot and killed in the line of duty. I also want to recognize the tremendous amount of work by our borough employees that pulled off massive vigil for Hinel's family wishes. Since the United States honor flag was being flown for their daughter. Traditionally, Hinduism religious beliefs is after the family member is cremated, that they basically stay in the house for the next what do you call it, 10 days, and they leave the urn outside the house for the spirit to wander around the house. But being that the flag was here, Hinel's father was amazed on how the United States emergency service responders treat a line of duty death, and the way his daughter was honored. He said back in there in their own country in India, that unless you have any kind of rank, it doesn't mean anything when you die. They just basically cremate you and that's it. He said that his family is truly amazed on how everything was run here between the Borough of Spotswood and North Stelton Fire and Rescue, working as a team to get everything done. There's a huge thank you to to our EMS director Miriam for somehow keeping it together and keeping it strong during one of the most difficult times. Myself and Dawn, I couldn't tell you how many times we spoke to her, and whether it was 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, she was still up, and she was back at that building the next morning with all her employees. To my business administrator and executive assistant Myrta for running around to at least 20 stores trying to find candles with less than 24 hours notice, and for planning. Chief Michael Zarro, Lieutenant Les Genovese for tracking the flag and getting that all situated for me. I'm sorry, I lost my spot. To our OEM coordinator, Jose Rivera, our volunteer fire department, all of our DPW employees for their hard work, our borough council for standing behind everything that was needed and just basically helping with anything that was possibly needed. We all just worked as one. Thank you for that. Matt Strager from Robert Wood Johnson Medical Service. He was on scene. When I got called, I immediately contacted Dawn and Chief Zarro, and we were on scene probably about 15 minutes after it happened, and you know, your head's spinning, you don't know, what am I supposed to do? You know, and Matt was right there and basically said, listen, Robert Wood Johnson will cover you guys. I will send you a ambulance free of charge. We're gonna cover the borough of Spotswood. Is that fine? And that was very generous of him to do at that time of need for us. To a little more happier news is now. September 20th is Joey DePalmer Day in Spotswood. Joey is a little boy who has leukemia, and this year they are going to be putting on Joey Palooza tickets, so for $10 a piece. All proceeds will go to the Friends of Joey Fighting Leukemia. The event is from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Spotswood Knights of Columbus. I would like to thank my fellow Knights for donating the hall. Tickets went on sale on Thursday, and they already sold 85 tickets. There's flyers. I'll try to get some posted around places for it. The Spotswood Chargers golf team is holding a golf outing next Monday the 17th. They are in need of more golfers. The golf team is not funded by the Board of Ed, so they have to raise all their funds to keep this team going. So if anyone is interested in sponsoring a hole or golfing, it would definitely help them out. And the Jeffrey Zadrowski Memorial Scholarship Fund, they will be holding their annual golf outing at the Cranberry Country Club on Sunday, September 27th. If anyone has any interest in that, please let me know. Spotswood Recreation is holding their annual 5K, which will be held on Saturday, September 12th, if anyone wants to come to that. And I believe that is all I have at this time. I probably forgot a few things, but...
St. Peter's Pig Roast. I
Yes.
think it's August 19th? Or is it September 19th?
September.
September 19th.
Okay, because he was handing them out at National
Flyers
Night
for the
Out.
night out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're having that pig roast.
yeah. So that's a
I
fundraiser for
forgot that
them.
one. Thanks, Marge.
Dawn, anything?
Just a few things. I also want to echo everybody else's sentiments about the congratulations for Spotswood Police Department and the Municipal Alliance for co-sponsoring a successful National Night Out. Also, at the last meeting, I announced that the 2015 Consumer Confidence Report for water quality was available. It's on our website, and we have copies upstairs. Councilman Seeley had asked if our utility manager, Fred Walter, could come and give a presentation to council about how to read the report and how to prevent leaks in your home to save on your water bill. He gave a very successful presentation to our seniors, and we'd like to have him come to council also. He has agreed to do so on September 21st.
Okay.
Also from the last meeting, a number of residents from Polonia and Kosciuszko Street were here. I just want to give you an update on that. No outlet sign has been moved to the top of the street sign, so it's now visible from either direction on Main Street.
Good.
Also, the commercial business that was getting deliveries before 7 a.m. has been notified that they have to be after 7 a.m. pursuant to our noise ordinance. And the police department is conducting a traffic study with regard to the parking regulations on those two streets. And last but not least, EMEX was here a couple meetings ago. Gave a presentation on competitive auction for energy aggregation for just our municipal accounts. And I wanted to see if that is something that council would like to move forward on, because it was recommended that September, October is the best time to get prices.
There didn't seem to be a downside.
No, there didn't.
No.
No, the best thing about EMEX is all we need is a resolution to hold the auction. The auction is held live. We can all log in and watch it. we are under no obligation whatsoever. If we don't like the pricing of the auction, we just say no. If we're happy, we pass the resolution. So I can't see any downside on this.
So you need a resolution to go to the auction?
Yes, he
So
needs,
is there,
it'll be on your what do you call
September?
it? Consent agenda, and that day is a day the auction will be held.
oh,
And then we'll have the numbers for
Close to
the
the
council meeting, and that's when council will decide how to go forward, if they want to accept it or not.
so you want to see if the first meeting or the second meeting in September would be best? Maybe the
Yeah.
second.
I figure if we ask them,
Yeah.
maybe what they think too, with the market.
I would think the second meeting in September, just because with Labor Day weekend and everything, but if council's favorable, I will move forward with the EMEX consultant and plan that.
Council favorable?
Yes.
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 Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Just a couple of questions. Dawn, are we anywhere on the whip?
No. We had tax bills go out, so that demanded most of the tax collector's time, striking the rate, getting the bills out. So now that those bills are out, once we're through peak with payments, which will be August 20th, she can go back to that and start working on it again.
Okay, and just a question for Nick. I'd like to propose that what we did for Joe Bove, we do for Hanal over on American Way, and
Absolutely.
put a sign up for her line of duty death.
I'm in full agreement with you on that, and, you know, I guess I can make it public. EMS got a hold of me just recently. They're looking to start a scholarship fund for Spotswood seniors for the senior night. So they're looking to purchase challenge coins. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what they are.
No?
No.
A lot of services, police departments, it's a coin that has your logo on it.
It's like a
And sometimes-
PBA
Our
card,
police
but it's a
department
coin.
has some challenge coins.
Yeah, and has a saying on it. And they're looking to buy them and sell them to get enough money to start their first grant and then gradually raise money. I was just approached actually last night by one of our EMTs. She sent me the link to look at. So, but they are looking to do that also in her honor. But I totally agree with Ted, with Councilman Ritchie to change that sign if council is in favor of it. We'll look into the protocols on what color and all
Same as
that.
we did for Joe
Yeah.
Bove, just not changing the name of the street, but
Yeah,
putting the
but
honorary street
with
sign up.
EMS is probably a different color and put their logo on it. So, yeah, we'll definitely go forward with that if you guys are in favor of it too.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll try to hold something with the family when we do it.
Okay.
With the senior dance would be very, I remember they had one for Valentine's Day one year at the high school. It was a big hit with the seniors.
Really?
Yes, yeah, they were always looking for that to happen again. Yeah, it was
Ah.
very nice. I think the students, the students had run it. It was really nice.
Pretty cool.
They were dancing with the seniors, and it was really a
That's
sweet
actually
night.
nice.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that we mentioned National Night Out and the vendors that had so supported us. I mean, some years we had someone that would have pizza, but they would have a couple of them, and after the first 15 minutes, it would run out. But Gennaro, 7-Eleven, they're two of the ones that come to mind that really excelled in supporting that night at National Night Out. And I was happy to hear from the chief that certificates of appreciation went out to all the vendors and people that helped. So that's something they can frame and put in their establishments for the support they gave us.
And especially 7-Eleven, which is a neighboring town's real store. BJ donates everything for us, for the mayor council breakfast, for any type of organization that comes to him, any type of fundraiser. He's a phenomenal person, and ShopRite is always there for us also.
Absolutely, yeah.
As well as he's a resident.
Yes, he is.
And because of the unexpected tragedy, losing Hanal, we had our EMS workshop meeting that was canceled, but we have it set up for tomorrow night at 7. We're going to do a workshop to get our EMS building rebuilt on DeVoe, and we're going to get that back in the works. It's something we've waited long enough. We've been trying to get that going, so we don't want to wait any further into September. We're going to schedule it for tomorrow night. at 7. All right, if nothing else, we open it to the public.
Motion open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. This is a general open public portion. For your comments, questions, we just ask you to come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
How are you?
Good evening.
Hey.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Very good. My name is Paul Rasmussen. I've been a lifelong resident of Spotswood off and on, and I have a vision for Spotswood Lake, and to try to help you out, I'd like to start a commission, the Spotswood Lake Environmental Commission. I'd like to head it. There's so much lost revenue in this town, not using the lake, the river system. It's incredible that probably none of you have ever seen it. Is that correct? None of you have ever seen the river system that supports the lake.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful area, and I'm trying to get people back into doing things, and I was wondering if you would be interested in a project such as this. I want to get the lake dredged, going in different directions. You are the municipal engineer. I'd like to have a meeting with you if it's okay with the mayor, and move forward with getting this lake done. It's a bad sore thumb here for Spotswood in a way. And so basically, does anybody have any interest in my project? I plan to have a trail system, boating, supply boats. All this is for free. I've done projects like this in town before, different towns, and they seem to work out okay. And
Well, I think we have an environmental committee charter, but it's not active. So, I mean, that would be something to look at, absolutely.
would you be interested in?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Mayor, would you be interested?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just to move forward in this, with the lake, I think would be great for the town. I have one other question. I would like to purchase a piece of land from the town. Is that feasible? If I have it actually here on a tax map, if you would, I'm going to bring it up. Is it okay if I bring it up to you, sir?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Well, that is possible, depending on the circumstances, but there are certain procedures that have to be followed legally to do that.
Yeah.
So, once we
This
find
would
out
be a
if it's
piece of
one that we
property.
would be interested in selling, we could investigate on just how it would happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I plan to dump some money into this town and a lot of time, and I think that there is a lot of wasted land that could be utilized in this town, and I'd like a shot at it.
Okay?
We need more business in town.
You
That's
need a
great.
lot more business in town. Spotswood is a failing town. Spotswood, it looks bad, it does. And with anything to move forward in any way, but the trail systems attract people. Look how many people Thompson Park attracts. It's unbelievable. And we have acres of land not even being used.
Well, the Jamesburg Park that goes up to Crescent Avenue
Yeah,
is one.
exactly. And we have a trail system that's 100 miles long that connects to that. Spotswood has it.
Well, when we have someone like you that has the energy and passion that wants to head up a volunteer group,
Yep.
we're not going to turn it down, because
I hear you.
that's what drives improvements in our town, is people stepping up and doing things on a volunteer basis.
I have been a river keeper for this town for over 40 years, very familiar with this river system. Again, there'll be more meetings to follow once I talk to Mr. Koch. But I got to tell you, it's a great vision to get people out of the house, off of video games. Everybody goes to water, and our lake is like it is. It needs some work. And I'm the guy.
I'd like to see my committee as
The
well.
Harpers live here.
Would you? Yes. Yes. I'd like you on that.
Some visions too.
Yes. And I really think that we can actually make this happen. And I've spoken to a firm that does excavation, and he had great interest in this project, and absolutely for free. So it's the engineers local out of South Brunswick, and there's other, I'm sure, this is a great town, man. I'm sure we can get the motivation and get this project going. It's a great asset to this whole community. So are you people. You really are. To take the time to do this, it's incredible.
I'll give you an idea. I mean, years ago, I fought to secure a grant from the county. I think it was like $25,000. We received a grant. It's a destination grant. And what I hoped to do was, when you go down DeVoe from Maine and you go over the bridge with the river,
Yep.
there is just a bramble bush mess of weeds, and that could be such a nice path to take you to the dam. And that was the idea. We haven't been able to make it happen yet. We secured the grant. So this is something else that maybe your team could look at and see what we could
And I
do.
can do, I work fast, and I can do this absolutely immediately and get a lot of this right on the board, and I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm actually going to sell my property in East Windsor. I live in a park in East Windsor. I'm going to sell that and bring all that this way. So I need to have, an access to the river legally, so I can work as I've been working, and and then buy a home.
So Paul, you're a resident of town?
No, I'm not.
You're not a resident?
Not right now, no.
That's why you want this piece of property.
Exactly, because I need to have not only a piece of property, the easement, because I could just ask you for an easement, but that wouldn't give me a voice.
He needs access to the river too.
Yeah.
That Maryland.
Mayors, and you guys come and go, seriously.
It's right there on the roof.
So we got to have something, something steady or something that's,
I would imagine that piece you're pointing to is not buildable.
no.
That's not what-
Absolutely not. I'm looking at a piece of swampland, but it's the only piece of swampland that you actually have a block and lot number for. I'll take it, whatever.
Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, see if it-
There's a
if
lot
it-
to discuss
Yep.
to make that happen.
Yes, sir.
But the Environmental Commission is something that probably could be put together. I would think.
Absolutely. I spoke to Paul earlier. I told him I was in favor of it, myself, 1 or 2 council members, and if we want to have any residents that are interested in really rolling up their sleeves and trying to get this thing done.
I believe through working with the internet, you know how popular the internet is, we can get something done. These are just ideas of different trail maps. These are different places, but I would make these for free, hand them out. People would use this stuff. And,
Well, I was always disappointed the county hasn't done more with the Jamesburg Park, because that could really be a jewel for hiking trails, and it would really be nice.
Yeah, it is. It's but it's something that I think would work out very well. So if you could
Very good.
consider it, I would thank you for your time.
Okay.
All right.
Great ideas,
Thanks.
Paul.
Paul, follow up with the business administrator and the mayor and set up maybe a meeting with them.
Okay.
Yep.
Bruce?
Paul set up a meeting with Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely want to talk to Bruce.
Over all the findings that you have.
Okay. And keep that. You want to keep that map so you know what I'm talking about?
No, I think we can get our own.
We have copies we can get.
But you know where? But the lot number. You're going to need to take that down.
So we'll give it to the.
Yeah, give it to Dawn.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up. Yeah.
Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. I have 4 items on the ordinances. The ordinance 08, 2015, that's on road repairs. Not any road is listed. It speaks about the purpose, the pre-construction, phone
What happens
numbers.
there, if we have
Yeah.
if we have a utility company that needs to dig into the street, or if we have a homeowner that wants to connect to a line, the person doing the digging must contact the borough for a road opening permit, so that they know what's happening, what they have to do to tell them if it's a traffic street, there'll only be certain hours they'd be able to do it. So it gives the borough control and oversight into a contractor digging into the street.
Oh, okay.
That's what that involves.
Oh, okay, because I know there's a long list of people complaining their street needs all of this repair work and all, so I
Not
know
that. This is-
that the list is
Right.
long. So this is not any specific street, it's just in general
It's a
the
procedural,
procedure.
for setting up procedures for opening a road.
And Cheryl, that also makes sure that the company opening the road is using the proper asphalt or the proper cement closing the road. Because if they use cheap quality material, over time, it's going to start dipping and creating potholes where we're going to have to fix it out of our pocket.
Okay.
So this is good.
Okay, and 09/2015 with capital equipment, is there anything more specific that it lists park improvements?
Yes,
The
for-
police equipment?
For Reeder Road Park, we're going to be
Yeah.
improving, there's been some safety hazards noted there.
Okay.
So we're going to be remedying that. That's like $47,500. There are mandatory police cameras for vehicles now that are required. That's about $120,000. And the borough phone system is going to be replaced for about $130,000.
Okay, okay. And each year, I always tell you that when I'm pulling out of Brookview Terrace, the condominiums coming onto Main Street, that there's a tree to the left that branches come out from the trunk of the tree. Branches are not on top of the tree. They interfered with the electrical wires, so the branches on top of the tree were cut. So now branches grow out of the trunk of the tree, and it has to be, the tree really, in my opinion, needs to be taken away. But whoever takes care,
We just need to have the code enforcer note it.
yeah.
Dawn's already writing that down, so. we'll take care
yeah,
of that.
I
because
think DPW went out there and took care
Oh,
of
yeah,
it
just
last
did it?
year. It was
Okay.
just a small
yeah,
trim.
once a year, I always ask for the tree to be trimmed. And one of the reasons why people go up Kosciuszko to make a U-turn on Polonia to come back out, because the lady who came here said she thought that the people were thinking it's a through street, and you're going to get, past the traffic at the light. Because of that tree, you can't see what's coming. So, you're trying as best you can, but you can't make a left turn. So you make a right turn, you go down Kosciuszko, make the U-turn, and come back to Main Street so that you can get on the other side of the road. Sometimes the traffic light backs the traffic up so that you can't come out from Brookview and get into the lane on the other side of the street. So, and the fourth and final item, I did go to the Board of Education meeting, and I asked about the taxes and the Board of Education and the school and everything. And one of the items that the superintendent did speak about is that they are looking to reevaluate the plan between the Helmetta school system and the Spotswood school system. And I would ask everybody, please cooperate with the Board of Education in their reevaluation, because a plain ordinary taxpayer such as myself is totally against the program that was worked out for the Helmetta children with the snuff factory, allowing families in there. We need to go back to an age-restricted situation. Now, John Corzine is the one who changed the law from age-restricted to letting families in. We cannot absorb in our school system more children coming in. We cannot take on the taxation. The Monroe High School situation with the Jamesburg school situation, there's no money. And they can't expand the Monroe High School, and there's more children, and
That situation with Helmetta was a really sad situation where one community really took advantage of another, and we're trying to change the law so that at least it can't happen again with payments in lieu of taxes, pilot
Yeah.
programs. But, I mean, that ship has sailed regarding whether it's going to be,
My words.
whether it's
Yes,
going to be
it
age restricted. That just is not going to happen
They've
anymore.
already leased out a
done
lot
for
of
us.
those properties.
Yeah, that's done. We've gotten the best deal we could with that situation. But until, I mean, whoever knows what's going to happen. I mean, as things become more and more tight with tax dollars in communities, maybe someday it'll be Spotsetta or something. I don't know. At that point, it may change, but for the next decade or so, this is what we're dealing with.
I do know that the mayor of Helmetta, that there was a vote of no confidence for her. And many of the problems that have been thrown in our lap come from the decisions made by Helmeta.
One person didn't do the snuff mill.
Yeah,
One
so-
person didn't do that.
Yeah.
And we're not going to bring their politics here, but
Yeah.
it's just something that was very unfortunate. It only happened to, I think we were one of the only communities that were so, well, no, there was a couple communities that were negatively impacted. I know there was a few down the shore, and it was really a horrendous decision to do that, to combine these districts. Everybody thinks, oh, bring things together and it costs less money, but the way it was done, they are picking up a lot less of the tab than they should have been.
Right, right. That was what was said at the Board of Education meeting, that the taxpayers here in Spotswood are with a burden, and Helmeta is not, that they are
Their taxes are much more reasonable than ours.
much more reasonable. So it's discouraging for us as taxpayers. So that takes care of all 4 items. Thank you.
You were in the express lane, that's all you have. Patty, we're waiting for you. You ready? Bless you.
Thank you.
It does,
Paul Rasmussen?
obvious.
Who was the first gentleman that spoke?
Oh, Paul,
Paul.
he walked out.
Oh, he's gone? Oh, well. What I have to say is,
And you are, for the record?
oh, I'm sorry. I'm Patricia Dowdy. I live at 138 Zavelle Avenue in Spotswood.
Thanks, Patty.
My concerns are also about the lake. Initially, they were health concerns. There was this new growth on the lake, and it was seen by the Department of Environmental Protection and by the Middlesex County Health Division. They found out that it was a growth called Dodder, and it wasn't a health concern. But it led me to be more interested in the health of the lake and the poor health of the lake. I spoke to many, many people and finally got to a gentleman, a lady rather, actually, who is the district manager of the Freehold Conservation Office. Her name is Inez Zimmerman, and she said that there's a group project, or there's 319 grant monies available through the next weeks, starting on a project with the Manalapan watershed basement. She said there's a biologist at the director of aquatic programs with Princeton Hydro who is aware of this monies. I don't know how this goes with the other gentleman's program and how it goes together, but I'm willing to be involved in helping. My husband sent a couple of emails to Assemblyman Benson, yes, and D'Angelo, and I also sent an email to Linda Greenstein, but I'd never heard from any of them. But nonetheless, I'll keep pursuing and do what I need to do. I would like to be involved in whatever is going on, and I'm available to you.
Well, I know driving past the lake during the summer months when solar rays are the strongest, the lake just looks horrendous with the growth that's in it. So we've all had the wish to have it done. Obviously, with the budget constraints that we have, Spotswood taxpayers cannot afford to dredge that lake. It really handles flood control and sediment all the way down into Manalapan, is it, that it comes up from? So, I mean, it handles the outflow from so many communities. It all just dumps on us, but we're not the ones that are going to be responsible totally for dredging it.
Well, every person that I spoke with on any level, I told them that Spotswood could not bear the burden, and they kept asking me, well, who owns the lake? And I said, Spotswood traditionally, we do.
If someone wants to buy it, I'm sure we'll be willing to sell it.
What feeds into Spotswood is a county level, but this Inez Zimmerman, she was very sympathetic, and she said this goes beyond the borders of just the county. She said this goes up to the state. She said this is a state level, and she said there's 319 grant money
Well,
available.
if you can pass that information, I don't know, Bruce, are you familiar at all with that?
No, I'm not, but like I said, Pat, you know my phone number, give me a call, send me the information, I can turn it over to our environmentalist and see what he can find out.
Okay, I'd be glad to, Bruce.
Thank you.
They say we don't turn down any help. If anybody comes up with an idea that can help us get this done, we did our part, we did the testing, and we obtained the permits that it can be dredged. We did the homework on that, and now it's just ready for someone to come in.
It's shovel-ready
It's shovel-ready.
project.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, thank
Patricia,
you.
here's my card.
I sent all that information you just spoke of to Assemblyman Benson.
Okay, well, they were here, I know Linda Greenstein was here, and we questioned her right then, and told her of our problem, so they are familiar with our plight. I appreciate that. Yes, Bruce?
If I may, on that subject, years ago, the borough used to have us file a permit with Fish, Game, and Wildlife in order to drain the lake during the winter to stunt or kill back the vegetation. Something for you to think about, because the time frame to do that is around now, or in the very near future. You have to get their permission for that ahead of time, but the community would have to bear the appearance of the lake, but that will help to some degree to improve its look in terms of all the vegetation in the summer.
I was told that had so little effect that we had stopped doing
Bruce,
it.
yeah, I remember it doing that, and it grew back just as well the next summer. You know what I mean?
Fine, I just wanted to bring it to your
Yeah,
attention.
no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it would help in another way.
Mosquitoes?
No, when it's drained out like that, we can get better photos of exactly what it looks like and how bad a shape it is in, how much dredging we really do need.
No, did it get that low? That you could-
Yes.
We were allowed to lower it no more than 3 feet. At one point, when there was work being done on the dam, under that restoration project, I had an aerial flown, so we'd have topography of the bottom of the lake because the water was just flowing through the channel. But that's probably 12 or 15 years old now, so it's no longer
It was a
representative.
long time ago.
But that is what we did. Because that would help calculate the volumes of sediment.
Right.
Would you like to just send the letter then? Do we want him to send the letter?
It's not a letter, we have to do a permit. What does the permit cost?
$2 or $3, I forget.
What
I
about-
used to go get a money order over a quick check and just do it that way. It was like,
You gotta be kidding me. I'm sure it's not $2 now.
Anything with DEP, we're figuring thousands of dollars for you to
no,
prepare it.
I haven't done it for years, but honestly, I would just go over and get a money order, fill it out, and that would be that, so.
I think we should.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
Yes.
Let's have it.
If anything can help, we'll try it again, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bruce, and thanks for your idea. Anyone else tonight? Good evening, Ed.
Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening. Eddie Smith, 395 Old Stage Road, and my question is directed towards the administration. Okay, and I had thought, and correct me if I'm incorrect, I believe with utility bills, there was a new system put in where you could almost track how much water was being used by a particular resident daily.
Yes.
Okay, can someone explain to me why I got a water bill and it says estimated on it?
Probably because it's read by radio remotes, and if it was out of frequency the day they did the billing, they have to estimate it. I was told there were 10 out of all of them last month.
Okay, well, then I'm one of 10. Okay, because what I'm trying to alleviate is possibly somewhere down the line getting a massive water bill. Because this current one was less than what I've been paying the last couple quarters, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, I don't want to get,
Sure.
blindsided in the
Right.
future.
Out of frequency, does that mean it couldn't pick up his receiver at that time?
It couldn't pick up his receiver, yeah,
And for
exactly.
10 units, they can't try to re-hit them?
If I wanted to delay the entire billing cycle until they hit those 10, I could. So it was a matter of hold up the billing a week or estimate about 10 bills. I think it was 9 or 10 bills. So we estimated the 9 or 10.
Do we feel there's a problem with his transmitter?
But no, because it comes back in, I can certainly check with Patty and make sure that those readings are coming in now.
Good.
Never heard of that, Ed, thanks.
Well, like I said, I was shocked because
Yeah, it's news to us.
There could be a
we knew we were
problem
having a
with your
little
sensor.
problem at home with water, and I said, the bill's coming in lower, and then all of a sudden I look to the right of the amount and it says EST, and I says,
Well, there's still a number on your meter, so if you go downstairs and read it,
You can compare it and you can call
compare
in
it.
an actual if
See
you
how
want.
close you are.
no, like I said, I had thought that any issues with estimated bills were behind us.
They're very few and far between.
Like they said, yeah, you can read the meter, and I was curious if you read the meter to see how close it was.
No, I did not. I did.
And I feel the same way you do. I thought when we were sold this originally, this wasn't going to happen again. It was estimated, it's, you know.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome.
I just have one thing. Asbury Fuel Oil Company, that grass is up to 3 feet, 4 feet already. Can we get that?
Probably hiding the building.
Notice of violation already went out.
Oh,
I reviewed all the notices with
Terrific.
Sherry today.
I don't understand that.
Hello, Barry, come on up.
Hello, Walt. Barry Engstrom, President, Spotswood Enterprise, Circle Ladder. 2 questions. I heard earlier about the upgraded phone. Does that include the firehouse?
The phone? Yes.
Yes.
Borough wide.
Yes, they actually, the company that came out and gave me the estimate, they actually had great humor out of your red phone. That was over at House 2.
Okay. Like that, huh?
They actually sent me an
Okay.
email a couple weeks ago to see if there were any updates, if I was moving forward yet. And they said, sent a picture of the phone and said, this phone is costing you lots of money.
Nostalgia.
Yeah,
Nostalgia. Okay,
exactly.
second question, that's good. Also, I'd like to just thank everybody for the support that the fire department received with our loss with Joe. I noticed the street signs have gone up along Main Street. A couple of them are still in question as far as needing to be placed in, and understandably so, those are the ones that have the poles put in the ground. So I'm understanding that could take a little bit of time. I guess the question I have for Nick and Dawn is that I noticed upstairs outside your office, Nick, you were discussing with me earlier or a while ago about doing like the memorial up there that Alice has up there. Any idea the time frame of that? Because I think what's happening now with Emmitsburg coming up in October for honoring Joe nationally, I think Liz is getting, you know, just
Emotionally.
again overwhelmed with everything that's going on.
I want to put, like, how Michael has his spot. I would like to put a fire department spot, a police spot, and an EMS spot. I believe they should all be separate. You know, Michael Gonzalez died fighting, you know, for war in our country. I think each service should try to find a wall where, God forbid, someone else is killed in line of duty, where we could put that sign up for them.
Okay, but any idea time frame on this? Again, I'm not sure how long it took for the Gonzalez thing to find its way through.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a year and a half now for Joe, and granted, I didn't.
Do we have any signs left for Joe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. John Mayer took them all because he was putting them up on
Yes.
Main Street, and I believe you were right that there is a couple that the poles have to be set in concrete in order to get the
Well, I think
sign
the one
up.
that really came into question is the one in the fire, obviously in front of the firehouse that has put a new pole in. I've kind of requested a new pole at the corner of Main and
Valete.
because that one's bad.
And John was talking about taking down the street signs too, because they're not needed, because on the traffic signal is the road names in real big
Taking out
letters.
of Main, DeVoe, stuff like that. The big
Yeah.
question was the one in Summerhill and Maine. There's really not a clear spot for that to be put in, other than if you're coming down Summerhill, as I said to John, you got the little driveway into what used to be the attorney there. I can't remember his
Thuring.
last name.
The new
Thuring.
house.
Thuring, yeah, and there's a little grass patch off to the right there. That's about the only option there. But I have a sign down at the firehouse for one in the firehouse. So, I mean, as far as, I think we'll have one extra. And that's, if you take the
they're-
Summerhill sign and put it up here,
They're only $45 each. Surprisingly, they're very cost effective.
We could order
I
more.
thought they were going to be a lot more money personalized. We could definitely order them.
all right, did you happen to give one to Liz at all?
Help looking for a spot.
Did you happen to give one to Liz at all?
No, I haven't
that
given any yet. I just gave you the one.
Okay, okay. Well, I have that one for the firehouse. I'd just like to, again, I'd like to get closure for her and for us also, because again, you know, a year and a half now is going to pass, and we're going down to Emmitsburg in October
We want to bring
nationally
one.
honor Joe, and it just, I want to, that's another portion I'd like
Do you
to
want
get
to
closed
bring it
out.
down to Emmitsburg, or do you want to give it to her here?
Well, I think I don't know what you did upstairs for Michael, if something that you brought the family in to honor him, or you just did it.
That was
They
Mayor
presented it at
Barlow.
the-
Do you guys have any idea?
Yeah, they presented it at the street when they did the unveiling.
Yeah, I was there for that.
Sort of how we did for Liz and Joe. Okay.
But then, did they do anything when they put it on the wall here, or it just?
Remember
No, they just put it up.
Okay.
Put it up.
They just put it up.
Okay, well, then that's going to, that
Maybe
could take a
Barry,
little bit
you could
longer
take a
too
look
then.
or walk around the building with me, or if you and the chief wanna, and see if you can find a spot that you'd
I
like.
know there's not a lot of
for fire.
hallway left up
No,
there,
I
but I
know.
mean, this back wall here at the council chambers, if you're talking
idea,
about one
too.
for police, fire, and EMS,
Yeah, it's an
you need
idea.
some room.
You're
That's a
running
good
out
idea
of
there too, Kurt.
spots.
Yeah, because you can pull probably Michael's down and bring back in here too, so,
More people
Okay.
may see it here than up there.
yeah.
Especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it, thank you.
Barry, I got
Thanks,
a
Barry.
question for you. With the
Oh, you're not supposed
county
to ask me questions.
repaving,
I have to ask you questions.
the county repaving of Main Street there and the new striping, are you having any success with people not stopping in the yellow stripes?
No, not really.
No,
No,
they're
I
still
mean,
thinking-
occasionally we'll be out there, we'll watch people still stop there. Of course, when you see the patrol car sitting there and, you know, pointing people in, stuff like that, but for the most part, no, it's not.
You know, maybe it's because of the speed of our street, but that is not as bold as a lot of fire markings that I see. They seem like very narrow lines, where usually you see like big, bold, you know, this is a stay-out box. And
Well,
it
yeah.
seems very, I don't know, it's not as bold.
Like
as
you
I-
said, we transferred the signs from down at the old squad building up to there to do not block
Just
intersection.
thinking that would work too.
It's,
You stop and they go around you, so it doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
You
yeah,
could
you
have
stop where you're supposed to
neon
stop and they come over
glaring
and stop in front
sign,
of you.
they'd still.
So, no, but I don't think it's,
Thanks.
but I know there's other things in the work too, so I hope
Okay.
that works out, so. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else tonight?
Motion to close the public?
Second?
Frank?
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming out. Have a great rest of your summer, and be safe. Good night.